Hey Browns fans, Nathan Zgura here with a game preview edition of the 2-Minute Drill brought to you by University Hospitals. The Browns are back in action this Sunday down in Miami. The 3-5 Browns, fresh off of their Monday night win and the bye week, they head down south to take on a Dolphins team that sits at 6-3 and has won 3 straight games. The Dolphins are led by quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who is playing at an MVP level, currently leading the NFL in yards per attempt, quarterback rating, and when you do those things, you usually win football games. In fact, the Dolphins have not lost a game that Tua has started and finished this year, 6-0 in such games. And in fact, in his last 14 games that he started and finished, the Dolphins are 13-1. This is one of the most explosive passing attacks in the league, and it is led by arguably the best receiving tandem in the NFL. Tyreek Hill already 1,104 yards this season through 9 games. He is on pace to become the first receiver in NFL history to have more than 2,000 yards receiving in a season. His running buddy Jalen Waddle, not too shabby in his own right. He comes in 5th in the NFL in receiving yardage, and that tandem is averaging more than 200 yards a game together, and they are on pace to set a record for the most receiving yards by a duo in NFL history by a wide margin. Now, they can also run the ball. Rahim Moore, he has been there with new head coach Mike McDaniel. He came from San Francisco following McDaniel to Miami. And they just made a trade at the deadline for Jeff Wilson. Wilson, who had a great first half of the year with the Niners, comes over to the Dolphins. And in his first game last week, he led the team with 9 carries for 51 yards, added 3 catches for 21 yards and a touchdown. He brings a physical element to their running game. So offensively, what are you going to see? They're going to throw it a lot. Tua gets the ball out quickly, but he also can push it down the field. Now, he doesn't have the strongest arm, but because the ball comes out quickly, they hit a lot of chunk plays. In fact, he's the best quarterback on passes more than 10 yards in the air this season, and Tyreek Hill and Waddle are the 2 most productive receivers on passes of more than 10 yards in the air this season. And in fact, you talk about plays of 15 yards or more, Hill number 1 with 30, Waddle number 2 with 22. And Tua missed 3 games. That's how good this offense has been. They also have Mike Gesicki, who was their franchise tag player at tight end. He's had back-to-back seasons of more than 700 yards. So they will be high-flying. Some injuries on the offensive line give the Browns an opportunity to get some pressure, but look for the RPO game where they have the run-pass option. Tua number 1 in the NFL in RPOs, 8.7 yards a target. He's also number 1 on third downs. He has been spectacular. So they're going to have inward breaking routes. They try to get their guys running horizontally where they can catch it and then run up the field for big plays. The Browns have got to be ready for that, and they've got to get pressure on Tua. That's where his numbers really drop. But as I said, he gets it out quickly, much like Joe Burrow, so tackling will be very important on those quick throws. Defensively, this is where the Dolphins have struggled. Their back end, one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, and they also have not generated a lot of takeaways, 4th fewest in the league. So if the Browns can be clean, I think there are opportunities to exploit this team through the air and obviously on the ground, giving up over 4.5 yards per carry. They made a trade on defense as well, bringing in former Pro Bowler Bradley Chubb for a future first-rounder, so he joins Jalen Phillips, Emmanuel Ogbah, and Melvin Ingram as the guys on the edge trying to get to the quarterback, and they have the very talented Christian Wilkins inside on the interior of that defensive line. This should be a high-scoring game. Both of these teams are in the top 10 in scoring offense, both of them in the top 5 in total offense. And for the Browns, this is a must-have to keep that momentum going. Get to 4-5 before you head to Buffalo the following week. This is a big one. As I said, excellent Dolphins team, excellent Browns team, 2 teams with playoff hopes, and in the Dolphins' case right now, they're looking to try to win their division, having beaten the Bills earlier this season. We'll have full coverage for you on Browns Countdown starting at 10:30 a.m. as we get you ready for the game all the way up until noon, and of course on the University Hospitals Cleveland Browns Radio Network, coverage starts at 9 o'clock. The Browns and the Dolphins should be a shootout down south in sunny Miami. Let's go Browns. We'll see you there for the latest on your team. Keep it tuned to cleanbrowns.com and, of course, the Browns mobile app. This has been the 2-Minute Drill, brought to you by University Hospitals.